Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Inspo Pod with me, Bethany. So today we have a another bonus episode, and in this episode, I just wanted to really just do a roundup of season one of 2024. It's going to be a super short episode, just kind of going through all the highs and the lows. And yeah, just for any of you that are like hardcore fans that are super interested, um, just gonna be a bit of a cozy one, a bit of a cozy little roundup. So, 2024, let's talk about it. For me personally, very long, very hard year. Also, really amazing year. So, beginning of 2024, I'd been signed off. I think I've kind of gone through this story in my season one episodes, but just to give an overview from start to finish. So, start 2024, I'd recently got signed off work with depression. I'd kind of hit rock bottom, as it were. Kind of hit the lowest point in my job, wasn't happy. The lowest point in my relationship, wasn't happy. Lowest point in some of my friendships, wasn't happy. Like lots going on. Christmas and winter came and went, and then we went into January, and I kind of remember January being like a starting point for me to be like, okay, where do we go from here? What do I want to achieve this year? And I kind of set myself like lots of different tasks. One of them being learn to ride a bike because I've not ridden a bike since I was a child. I know, fucking embarrassing. Like, shoot me. But I wanted to do it. So yeah, I knew it was going to be embarrassing. I knew I was going to have to buy a helmet and look like an absolute helmet wanker, but it is what it is. Um, Another one I wanted to achieve was to be self-employed and figure that out. Another thing I wanted to do was change jobs. So I didn't know which would come first, whether I would find a new job and just switch and then eventually be self-employed, or whether I'd just go self-employed first. I had no idea how that was going to look. I just know what I wanted to achieve. And then another thing was the podcast. And throughout the beginning of that year, I started the podcast. I put wheels in motion, started planning, started getting my equipment together, the lovely backdrop, my microphone, all my sort of sound equipment, these lovely headphones, everything. I kind of put some time into making connections and reaching out to my friends and people that I personally find inspirational that I wanted to interview. Um, and I just started the planning phases really. Got an email address, a website, a logo, sort of trademark the name, all of that kind of stuff, all the boring stuff. And I don't know if I really knew how far it was going to go. And it was just a dream, and I knew I wanted to get it done. So 6 months in, let's jump to there. Podcast was in motion, um, episodes being recorded. I learned to ride a bike. It sounds so dumb when I say it out loud. It really does. But yeah, I can ride a bike now. Great. Fucking kudos to me. Still can't run, but I can ride a bike. Um, Jobs, I changed jobs, moved to a job with someone I absolutely love, and I'm really super happy. Also went self-employed at the same time, which I didn't even know how that was going to coincide, but it did. Um, and then roll on to now, the end of 2024. And I can honestly say, like, in some ways, it's been like the slowest year of my life. Like, super slow, super at peace, super content, just really focusing on me, focusing on just being slow, not going crazy. I've had a few crazy nights out, had a few crazy holidays, actually. Let's face it, Ibiza, like always. Went to Ibiza twice this year, loved every minute. But generally speaking, like less nights out, less wildness, less crazy, less spiraling, like depressed moments, and just genuinely. or generally, sorry, found my peace and my comfort and my slower pace of life, which is great because I'm 34, right? But at the same time, it's been like an absolutely epic year and things have just gone crazy. So it's a weird one. It's been a crazy one. Um, but I've loved every minute. And what I would say, if I could take something away from this year to kind of pass on to the listeners slash viewers, is if your heart wants to do something, you really need to tune in and you need to listen and you need to follow that because there is so many things in life that I have started and not finished. So, oh, you know, there's so many things I still want to do, but I'm just not that passionate. I'm not that into it. So, for example, I don't know, like voiceovers and radio, I want to work in, and I love both of those. That doesn't count. Um, Having my own business, at one point I wanted to sell makeup, and that is a passion, but like it's not, I'm not passionate enough, and it just never took off. Um, I can't think right now what else there is, but there's other things I've kind of had an interest in, had a passion in. But if it's not your thing, you'll start it and you won't finish it. And you'll notice that through life. There's lots of things you'll kind of think you want to do. Or maybe there's things that you want to do because they look like they make a lot of money and you're like, oh, I'll do that because it's easy money. Those things generally never work out because you should never chase the money. You should chase what your soul wants, if that makes sense. So the podcast seems to be the only thing really that I've ever stuck at. And I'm obsessed with it. And I spoke about this on an episode with Vary. Um, she's been in 2 episodes in season 1, like by far probably one of my favorite guests. But we spoke about the Delulu phase. And I know that sounds like a crazy word. Um, I know I've explained this on those episodes, but Delulu basically means delusional. And I am fully delusional. Like, I feel like this podcast is the best thing ever. I feel like I'm fully invested. I feel like I'm going to continue doing it forever and it's going to do really well. And I'm just fully delusional. And I think in life, you kind of have to be. Like, if something's going to work out, you have to be delusional. You need to be fully delulu. And it's the only way. It's the only way to succeed, I think. Because if you're not delusional enough, you're not going to make it work. Like, there are literally people out there being more successful than you because they have enough delusion to just push through, despite how clever they are, despite how skilled they might be, despite how much they already know. Like, there's people just doing things and just making it work, just with like zero knowledge. And despite what people think of them, despite the setbacks, despite the knockbacks, people are succeeding despite everything just because of their pure levels of delusion. So, in a weird way, if you can kind of adopt that delusion and run with it, you literally can succeed at anything. I fully believe that. But you're only going to be delusional about something if you feel passionate about it, which is why you need to follow your heart. Um, and I will say one thing that really, really got me through this year, which I recommend to everybody, which is therapy. And I think in 2025, I'm going to do an episode all about therapy, um, because it's so important. And there are people in my life that refuse, like point blank refuse to get therapy, who now have therapy and are loving it. And I think it all just comes down to like finding the right therapist, finding the right sort of way that works for you. Like, some people thrive in person. Like, my sister, for example, will say, I can't do phone calls. She's too anxious. A phone call would just destroy her. Like, she needs to be in front of someone in a safe space, in a room with no one else. Me, on the other hand, I do it by phone. And I actually find that more beneficial because I don't have to travel. I can be in the comfort of my own room, in my own bed, and I can just cry and just get the tissues and like I feel safe. And then other people like want to do it for a video call. Other people want to do I don't know, messaging, whatever else. Like, there's so many ways you could do it now. So it's just finding the method and the right therapist, I think. Um, so that's a big thing that's got me through as well. And in terms of the podcast itself, so let's do a little look back along the journey. So we started with the lovely Bex, Fitness by Bex. And Fitness by Bex, she was my first guest. And so episode one was all about fitness and business and kind of her journey. And then I might get the order a little bit muddled up here, but my next few guests were Charlotte. We spoke all things business. She's an amazing, amazing lady who has come back for season two. So you'll hear more from her coming soon. We had Kirsty. We spoke about her journey and like difficult times and how she's navigated her job and she's super successful and still has a great sense of humor. We spoke to Vari a few times. Me and Vari had two episodes together, and she is wonderful. She's my little soul sister. And we spoke about spirituality, about her journey, about self-employment. And we also spoke about drinking, standard. Um, and there was a couple of solo episodes as well, where I spoke about sort of my journey, sort of peace, contentment, healing, all of that kind of thing. And I hope you guys enjoyed it all as much as I did. I thoroughly enjoyed recording all of these episodes. And for season two, it's going to be a little bit more polished, a few more different guests. And I'm excited to share that with all of you, obviously. And season two is going to be in 2025. So it's going to be a good year. I can feel it. Slightly concerning that if you look at a calendar, if you've got a calendar that's like M for Monday, T for Tuesday, W for Wednesday, and it just says like MTW, etc., 2025 actually starts with what the fuck? Because it starts on a Wednesday. So that's slightly concerning, but we move. I just feel like it's going to be a really, really good year. And I wanted to just say to everybody, if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about, or anyone in particular you want me to interview, or, if you've got any feedback at all, or anything you want to hear more about, please do get in touch. So just as a reminder, email address is bethany at theinspopod.co.uk. Spotify, you can contact me on Spotify. You can download, you can like, share, subscribe, etc. YouTube, you can watch, share, subscribe, like, and comment. So get commenting. And you can also get me on Instagram as well, which I'll share below. But yeah, I just want everyone to get in touch and just let me know what they want to hear more of. It's super important that like I put out content that you guys love. And I cannot believe that I have, it sounds such a low number, but I'm finishing 2024 with nearly 300 subscribers on YouTube. And I just am blown away by how many of you are enjoying these videos. Like, insane. So massive thank you to all of you. Like 300 is crazy. I don't even know 300 people. So you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. But I love it. But yeah, I'm just super happy. So I want you all to get in touch. Let me know what you want for next year. Let me know what you want to hear more of. If you want to be on the podcast, get in touch. If you know someone that wants to be on it, get in touch. And that's really it. This is just a little bonus app, guys. Just a little hop on and chit chat. 2024, that's a wrap. And I'll see you guys on the other side. All that's left for me to say is Happy New Year. Have a good one. Don't get too pissed. Jokes, get fucking wasted. And I'll see you on the flip side, 2025. It's gonna be sick. Thanks. Have an inspirational day, week, new year, a blessed day. Stay grateful, stay positive. Over and out.